The latest installment of this epic saga begins with the highly anticipated return of Captain Gorian Shard, who rudely interrupts Greef Karga's important urban planning meeting. While Greef's reluctance to rely on a remote bureaucracy is understandable, it is disappointing that he has no contingency plan in place for the looming threat posed by the likes of a man who has been a pirate, a bounty hunter guild leader, and has worked for an Imperial remnant. Instead of having a solid plan for dealing with a potential danger, he resorts to sending a droid with a message, Princess Leia style, begging the New Republic for help. Greef's message of distress is ultimately delivered to Captain Carson Teva, who is stationed at a New Republic base alongside the legendary Zeb Orrelios from Star Wars Rebels, making his long-awaited live-action debut. It is truly a marvel to see the gruff and rugged Lestat in the flesh, and it is fantastic that such a talented voice actor is finally able to reprise his role. While we may not get to see him and Teva immediately head to Navarro with other former rebels in Tau, it is highly probable that he will eventually join forces with other crew members from the Ghost in Ahsoka. Unfortunately, Teva is forced to fly to Coruscant to request aid through the proper channels, with predictable results. The bureaucratic mess that the New Republic has become is made abundantly clear, as Teva is told by Colonel Tuttle that they are losing the peace, despite having won the war against the Galactic Empire. Even worse, the New Republic cannot even protect the Mid-Rim from the Pirate Nation, which is further evidence that The Mandalorian is following the First Order origin story from Dave Filoni's Star Wars Resistance. The dialogue in the scene on Coruscant may be a bit blunt and repetitive, as Teva desperately tries to make his case to an indifferent bureaucrat, but it serves as a necessary preparation for viewers for what are fairly obvious plot points. It's particularly humorous to watch actor Tim Meadows bring a bit of levity to the situation with his exasperation towards Teva, particularly when he smirks and says, "Whoa," upon being reminded that Navarro did not sign the charter that would make it the New Republic's responsibility to send help. With nowhere else to turn, Teva must now seek help from other sources. Peli Motto presented our 5D4's experience in the Rebellion as a selling point to Din Djarin, but apparently it's also a bit of a liability as the droid was willing to give up his current whereabouts to Teva. The suspense about whether the Mandalorians are going to intervene feels forced, padded with exaggerated murmuring and grandstanding from Paz Vizsla, voiced by Jon Favreau, who obviously was going to help Din after he earned enormous goodwill by rescuing Paz's son in the last episode. However, it is funny that the Children of the Watch use the Armorer's hammer as a talking stick. Paz ultimately agrees with Din to help, saying they are Mandalorians and this is the way. We are shown an exciting action scene where the Mandos are overwhelming the pirates on land and air. Then we see this Swamp Thing pirate leader refusing to accept defeat, when one of his lackeys remind him they are all but defeated. His refusal to retreat almost makes you think he is working for someone else, and failing would be worse than death. We then see Bo in armor speaking of a united Mandalore, as if when Bo admitted to seeing the Mythosaur and her helping the Mandalorians achieve another great victory, may be some kind of sign she's the foretold leader. However, Bo-Katan's quest to reunite the Mandalorians is about to hit a major obstacle, as the reveal at the end of The Pirate raises questions about what happened to Moff Gideon. Was he taken by Mandalorians who want him to answer for the Great Purge of Mandalore, or by those who would follow him because he wielded the dark saber? Although his defeat would undermine his claim to the relic, the presence of a significant Imperial remnant around Mandalore suggests that Gideon's forces and a group of Mandalorians may now be working in concert and have their own goals for the planet.